What is up, Twitch, and happy Wednesday? Welcome back to another exciting episode of, dare I say it, America's favorite product update show starring Zach and Ray. I think
America's favorite. Yes.
I think it might be true. Hello, Ray.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm all right. What's up with you?
I'm doing all right. I got my coffee. I had my Baja Blast, and I'm ready to do this.
You're feeling Baja Blast.
I'm ready. I'm Baja Blasted and ready to talk patch notes. By the way, yes, chat, you heard the sound checks. Those were for me, and now also you.
Just a little peek behind the curtains, a little bonus for those of you out there that are streamers that want to go, want to know what it's like during a countdown. Well, now you know. Now you've heard it. Ray,
now you know.
We were talking about postponing patch notes very last minute so that we could watch the Hades 2 tech test. Did you get a chance to look at any Hades 2?
Who says I'm not
Hades
watching
guy? I guess
the Hades 2 tech test right now? Who's to say? You'll never know.
The multi-screen experience, as it were. Well, Ray.
No, big Hades fan. Love Hades 2. Real excited about it, for real. Yeah,
maybe. I'm very stoked as well. Ray, if this is folks' first time tuning into Patch Notes, shall we say welcome to each and every one of you? Just in case you don't know, Patch Notes is, in fact, a monthly show, mostly, although this is our first episode since February. My personal first episode since November. Can you tell that I'm jazzed to be back?
Wow, yeah, that's right.
Patch Notes is a monthly show that updates you fine folks on the important changes and releases over the past month. We consolidate it down in one easy-to-find stream, and we welcome Twitch staff and guests as guests to talk more about the products and changes that we're working on, experiments that are coming down the pipe, things that you can expect from us throughout the course of the next several months. That's what our show is all about, but also it's about interactivity. It's about communicating with the community. And Ray, if folks want to communicate with us, how can they do just that?
Well, chat, you're already doing the easiest part. You're in chat right now, talking with us. By the way, hello, chat. It's so good to see you again. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. But, we got a lot to cover today, but I don't want you to forget, chat. As Zach said, we want you to be in tune with the show. We want you to interact with the show. And we'll give you an opportunity to do that during the Q&A section of the show at the end. So, I need you to do this for me, chat. You're already in the right place. You're in chat. But I need you, if you have a question, to type !ask, which is ASK, and then a space, and then your question. So then our wonderful people behind the scenes will grab those questions and make sure that we can get as many answers as we can in the time that we have. All right? I need you to do that. You can do it. I believe in you. Don't forget, !ask, then your question. All right? You got it. I believe in you. I'm ready to get this going.
Because we have a supersized episode because we weren't around last month. Let's hop right in. We want to get started with our very first topic, and it's a big one, something that we've been talking about for quite some time. So, Ray, why don't you kick us off with what we're talking about in this first block?
Yes. I mean, we'll start out with a big one, and the one I'm actually really partial to. So, right now, most of y'all have heard us talk about the discovery feed since we first shared our plans to start working on it at TwitchCon. I think it was last year. So, hey, guess what? Here to give us an update and talk about the upcoming release of that feed is the product manager, Jessica Song. What's up, Jessica? Welcome to the show. First time here.
Hi.
Welcome on in.
Hi, Jess.
Thank you.
It is your first time on Patch Notes. As is tradition, at this point, we always ask a few questions of folks when they join. What is your role? What do you do here? And what is your favorite type of food to eat? That's a new question we're throwing into the mix. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm Jess. I'm a product manager that works on community experiences. And right now I'm mainly focused on working on the mobile discovery feed, which we'll talk a bit about today. My favorite food is probably mac and cheese.
Solid choices all across the board.
That was an amazing choice, actually. Genuinely, one of the best ones I think we've gotten since it's the first one. But I will also say that it's a really good one. I agree. All right. So, Jess, you ready? You ready to jump right into it?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, bad. So, for those who haven't heard much about our plans for the feed, can you tell us a little bit about it and why we're investing in it?
Yeah, for sure. So the mobile discovery feed is a scrollable feed of live streams and clips that will live on the mobile Twitch app. And it's meant to help viewers quickly find content and then help streamers get discovered by more viewers. And we're investing in this because we know that today viewers come to Twitch primarily when someone they already know or follow is live, and when they have at least 30 minutes of time to sit and watch that person that they came to see. We also know that a majority of our viewers do want to discover someone new to watch, but it's not super easy to do right now without spending a ton of time browsing streams or sitting through ads. And then on top of that, you have to hope that a streamer that actually fits your interests happens to be live while you're browsing. So our goal with the feed is to make it easier to discover and enjoy content on Twitch, even when you don't have that 30 minutes or even 10 minutes. And we really hope that the feed can help you find something, whether you have time to sit and join in, or you just want to catch up on some good content while you're standing in line. And this also helps our streamers by helping get their content discovered by new viewers, even when they're not live.
So can you show us exactly how all of this will work in the feed?
For sure.
Please?
Yeah, so
Thank you.
the feed is going to have both a live feed and a clips feed that viewers can switch between using the pills at the top of the feed. And then in the live feed, you can scroll through tons of live streams from both streamers you already follow, as well as streamers that we recommend based on your watch history. And this is meant to help you find something quickly to watch without having to sit through a pre-roll ad before you even know if that content is something you're going to like. And then in terms of the clips feed, that lets you catch up on fun moments that we think you'll enjoy when you have just a few minutes to open up the app and scroll during your day. It helps you connect with those streamers, like I mentioned, that you might not have seen otherwise since they aren't live.
Man,
It's super cool functionality. I love the way that you can like flip back and forth between live and clips pretty easily. Ray, you were going to say something. I cut you off.
Very easy. No, like very easy. I love this. It's just, this is one of those things where I remember back in the day, there was a similar experiment run that was super great, and I loved it. And I was like, where did that go? And I love that this is like the evolved form of that, and it's even better. So like, this is super dope. So thanks, Jess, like, and team. I'm really stoked about this, honestly. So, but now I have a hypothetical for you. But I mean, it's not really hypothetical because I've done this before. So, while scrolling the feed, can I chat and join in on streams from the feed while I'm on it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So when you find a stream that you might want to join, you can tap on the streamer's avatar to go into theater, and that's where you'll be able to chat and interact with the stream. We've heard some feedback so far from users that they prefer to just tap on the screen to enter the live. So we're working on making that happen.
Okay, we're back, everybody. Sorry about that. The joys of live streaming. Jess, you were talking to us about following from the clips feed. If you want to tell us a little bit about how that works as well.
Yeah, so if you're in the clips feed, we'll show you if a streamer is live, so you can tap their avatar to join that stream as well. Or you're also able to follow them from the feed if they're offline so that you can come back to them later.
Streamlining the follow system here is really cool. I almost did a cuss, everybody. Sorry.
I almost did a swear. No, not on Wednesday. On America's favorite patch note show. You can't do that.
Right. Yes, I'm sorry that I almost said the F word. I was going to say, can we actually see this other asset? Because I wanted to ask a question about this other, the C6 asset, if we could run that again. This is an important question about this particular functionality. What is she pouring on this burger? We're all extra Emily fans.
I love Emily. Stop making me look at this clip.
She's seems to be dumping water on the burger for some reason. That was just a silly side quest that I took us on. Jess, you mentioned that folks will be able to preview streams without pre-roll ads, which I'm sure a lot of folks in the chat are very excited to hear. That means that we don't have to sit through an ad before we even know if we like streamers' content. So will there be any ads in the feed at all, and how will those ads work if they're there?
Yeah, good question. So we will have some ads in the feed, but those ads will all be scrollable just like any other content in the feed. So they won't force you to pause your viewing or scrolling experience. And we also want to make sure that those ads are not showing up too frequently. So you can see from this example that we designed the experience to be as non-intrusive as possible, because we know that the feed is really about letting you find and enjoy content when you don't have a ton of time, and we don't want that time being taken up by ads.
which I do appreciate. So, Chad, did you hear that? Did you hear what Jess just said to you? That's a big W. That's something you all wanted. Trust me. So, man, Jess, again, thank you so much, because I love this. This is
It's really smooth integration. Like as far as ads go, I think that this is probably one of one of the better ways to have approached it. I think it's like really smooth. So, well done.
All right. So now a question for the streamers in terms of the feed. So, how can streamers get their content into the feed?
Yeah, so streamers can't directly upload content into the Discovery feed, but featured clips will be prioritized in the feed over non-featured clips. So I would encourage streamers to continue to create and feature clips to boost discovery. And then other than that, all live streams and clips are automatically eligible to appear in the feed if they meet our content guidelines. And there are some special cases to call out here. So some mature content types will be restricted from appearing in the feed to make sure it's a safer viewing experience. But mature games and profanity content types will still be eligible to show up. And if a viewer is following a channel that's streaming CCL content, they'll be able to see that in the feed as well.
Obviously, the number one question that I think we're all kind of asking, and I see it here in the chat as well, is when can people start using the Discovery feed? When will people start seeing it roll out into their apps? I think folks are excited for it.
Yeah, so some users actually already have access to the feed as an experiment, but I'm super excited to share that the new feed tab is going to be rolling out to all mobile users later this month. So make sure that you have the most updated version of the app to see it once it rolls out.
That's awesome. Look at what Ray is doing here. As you can see, Ray this is what I call preparing the goof. You can see that Ray is about to make a really funny joke. Go ahead, Ray. Let's hear it.
Oh no, I was just perusing the feed that I have access to that you don't.
Yes,
so
course.
here we go.
long time Patch Notes viewers will know that Ray gets access to every early access update and app and etc. Many moons before I do. So this is just a long tradition of me coming in second place behind my co-host here. Thank you, Ray.
It's fine. I just wanted to let you know that it's great. Anyway, so Jess, while we still have you, so what's next for the feed and the mobile app? Could you tell us something?
For sure. So what we've seen today is definitely not the final destination or experience for the feed. And you can expect to see it continue to change and improve over time. For example, like next month, some users might see the feed as their homepage of the app instead of seeing it in the feed tab. And then over time, as we work towards redesigning our mobile app, as we shared in the open letter earlier this year, you might see more experiments and changes to the feed and the mobile viewing experience. But we're going to be sharing more about that on next month's Patch Notes.
Awesome. Yes.
See?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ray.
You heard it here first, chat. No, you heard it here first, chat. You hear that? Next month's Patch Notes. Be here. That's May 15th at 12 p.m. Pacific time to hear more. We'll be right here talking about exactly what you said. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Jess.
I'm excited to have Jess back on for a second time, but we'll have you back on for Q&A here shortly because I see quite a few questions rolling through chat right now about the Discovery feed that we'll want to get back to. Stick around, Jess, and stick around, chat, for folks of you that are asking questions. We'll get those questions answered at the end of the show. Jess, thank you so much for joining us. An excellent first appearance, by the way. Great job.
Well done. Nailed it.
We'll see you again soon.
Thanks.
In a bit. Yep. We are going to transition to our next topic. Not a smooth transition when you have to say we're going to transition. I feel like I'm a little thrown. I feel like I'm a little thrown off my game. I know, that's bad.
It's okay.
But we want to welcome to the show Mike Minton, our Chief Monetization Officer, who's going to talk to us a little bit today about what we're doing to correct some subscriptions that were incorrectly canceled over the course of the last couple of weeks. Mike, welcome back to Patch Notes. It's been a while. How have you been?
Well, it has, but now that we're rebranded to America's favorite product update show, it's like a whole new thing.
I want to clarify, it's America's favorite product update show starring Zach and Ray. So it's a very specific
I'll
accolade.
make sure I get that right.
Yeah, thank you. I don't want anybody coming for me.
Quite the mouthful.
Mike,
that's quite the mouthful there.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome back to the show. We always appreciate you coming on and explaining with just what's going on in the world of monetization, and we know you had some updates for us today regarding just an unfortunate kind of turn over the course of the last couple of weeks. So why don't we hop right in? Ray, I'm going to steal your question here and ask Mike. Can you please explain what's happening for those folks that may not know what's been going down the last week or so?
Yeah, we've discovered that we've had some number of subscriptions from March and April that did not renew as they should have. It was a good news, fortunately isolated incident that makes it very hard to detect. Honestly, it took us a little longer than probably should have. We've been working with our payment partner to ensure the error is fixed, and we do now believe it's fixed. So that's the good news. And people always ask, well, how many people are impacted? And we do know this. We have a list. The one way to think about it is, we have millions of subscribers on Twitch. This isn't counting gift subs, not counting Prime. So, to start with, there's a very large number of subscribers. And if you look at it from a percentage impacted perspective, it's about 0.2% of subscribers were impacted by this issue. Obviously, it's a severe issue. It's not, 0.2% is still bad. But I just want to make sure streamers understand that it is not widespread in a way that would, be even noticeably impacting for most. But we, again, recognize extremely frustrating. We're sorry and apologize for the impact here. We'll talk more here in a second in terms of what we're doing from this point forward.
All right. Well, Mike, thank you for coming in and telling folks and talking about this, because it is really important. We want to make sure that we are very candid when things like this happen. So my question for you then is, so what should streamers whose subscriptions were canceled know about what we're doing next?
Yeah, the important thing is we're going to try to contact every single person impacted in multiple ways. We're going to send an email out. Emails can be effective. A lot of people don't read their emails. So we're going to do other things. We're going to put a banner for those users on the homepage. We're going to put a banner on the channel page when they visit to tell them that their sub has been canceled. We're going to create a view for people that may have, and I think actually a really almost tiny number of people that have multiple subs impacted. They'll be able to go to their subs page and see a special view that shows the canceled subs and be able to take action. So the first part is we're going to try to get all these folks resubscribed. A bunch of them already have, honestly, and we expect we'll be able to get a high percentage of them back as subscribers. If you had a missing month, so let's say a sub was canceled in March, the viewer didn't know, they finally figured it out, about now when we notify them, resubscribe a week or two later, whatever. If there's any gaps in that subscription for the streamer, we will pay that month in this case, so that the streamer is not impacted for these people that, again, lost a month in due to this issue. So that's the streamer side of what we'll do to make sure that they're not impacted, or the impact is minimized to the absolute minimum.
And what about the subscriber side? Is there anything that you haven't covered off?
Yeah, the biggest thing for subscribers is those streaks. Like, I think my longest streak at this point is something like 75 months, and I know if I lost that and missed a month, I would be extremely upset. So we will, on the viewer side, for those people that take action by, I believe it's May 6th, and we'll confirm this in the communication, if you had a missing month or broke a streak, we will fix your streak automatically as long as you take action again by, I believe, May 6th. So, on the streamer side, we're going to prevent any impact to earnings by lost months due to a gap. And then on the viewer side, we'll make sure that the streaks are fixed, and that if you've been a subscriber for multiple years, that still is a cumulative streak and that you don't have any breaks in that.
And when is all of this stuff rolling out?
Yeah, the big notification efforts will start Monday. We believe the issue has been resolved. We have a good list of folks that were impacted. We'll start those communications on Monday in all the ways that I said. We'll give people a couple weeks. I think the target date's about May 6th. And then at that point, we will compute streamers that, in terms of getting their earnings payouts ready for May. we'll add that month in for those that were lost a month, and then for the viewers, we'll get those streaks fixed by May 6th.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Thank you so much for answering that. Yeah.
Yeah,
honestly.
and that's via email. You said that a lot of folks would be notified, right?
Email and on-site.
Okay, great.
All right. So pay attention, chat, especially if you were affected. And if you know people who were affected, send them this part of the show because it will help them. I promise. Mike, I have another question for you. Separate from this, there was some confusion online about Turbo revenue fluctuating at the start of April. People were concerned to see that the estimates were changing. Can you speak to this for them?
Yeah, important to understand that Turbo has always been an estimate of some form or another. You can't actually count a missed impression because it wasn't delivered. So Turbo has always been an estimate and remains an estimate. And it is based on ads that we believe would have ran in that channel. So it is impression based. It's important to understand. We compute it monthly, but we estimate it daily. And so we did see some reports and confusion that estimates were appearing to change. And some speculation that we were running an office Space. What was the movie where everybody's like trying to take a penny off the top, and that we were, doing
That's Office Space.
it in a way to make money. Which, if we were going to do that, we probably wouldn't show you the penny before we took the penny. But nonetheless, the important thing here is if you have abnormal activity in the beginning of the month, and so let's say, for example, you were doing 10 minutes of ads on April Fool's Day for your community. It kind of mucks up the estimate algorithm a little bit. And so then you maybe saw adjustments as your streaming returned to normal that may appear that we had something nefarious going on, where in fact it's just an imperfect estimation algorithm in the reality.
That makes sense. Speaking of Office Space, before we say goodbye to you, Mike, don't you think that Ray is kind of like Twitch's Milton? Don't you feel like that's sort of the case here?
What did I do? What did I do? I'm just here doing my job, and here I go getting strays. Wow.
We try to add a little levity. Mike, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. We feel like we have you on the show to kind of come on and explain some less than ideal situations. We made a solemn vow backstage that we would have you on for good news next time. I do see a lot of comments coming in on chat specifically about this topic, so we'll definitely have you back during the Q&A. But thank you for coming on and explaining just what happened, what we're doing to make it right, and where we're going from here. So thanks very much. We'll see you in the Q&A.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, take care.
Of course, every time.
Ray, I'm sorry about that.
Milton?
That was uncalled for.
Milton? Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
That was me.
You know a guy. You think you know a guy, chat. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm sorry. What do we got?
Get you
What do we
back
got
when
up
you
next,
least
Ray?
expected.
Mhm.
Well, coming up next, on America's favorite product update show starring Zach and Ray, we have one of our favorite guests coming back to talk with you about some follower verification information. So, welcoming back to the show, the Senior Product Manager for Safety Products, Trevor Fisher. Trevor, what's up, man? Welcome back.
Thanks, Ray. I don't think anybody's ever said my name with that much enthusiasm before.
That's why I'm here.
how
That's why
excited we
that's
are
why I
every
do what
time
I
you
do.
come onto the show. Yeah. Trevor, it's been a while since you've been on the show. It's been a while since I've been on the show. Oh, how have you been? What have you been up to? What's going on over there?
Yeah, I'm really happy to be back on. My team had a little bit of a slower start to the year. We were working through some big things, and happy just to be back now to share those with you.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Well, without further ado, let's hop right in. And what are we here to discuss today? Follower verification, I know, is up first. A couple of topics, but start us off. Tell us what we got going.
Yeah, so the first thing, I have two things here this time. First one is a new setting that we introduced a few weeks ago. This is a channel setting called follower verification, like you said. It's pretty similar to the chat verification settings that some of the people watching might be familiar with, which we introduced a few years ago. So this is a setting that streamers, as well as their mods, can choose to update for the channel. You can require that either all users or just users with newer accounts verify an email address or a phone number before they can follow the channel. And just to give some background on where we were coming from with this, we think that this can help with two follow-related issues that we've been hearing about from streamers. So the first one, which was kind of our primary motivation, was that we'd been hearing about some attacks on streamers that involved users with harassing usernames. But we also think that this feature can make it more difficult to follow bot a channel. So just doing a lot of good stuff there. Just a couple more details on this one. Subscribers, VIPs, moderators, those people, important people on your channel will always be exempt from this setting so that you don't have to worry about that, although hopefully they're already following. And also users who are already following your channel will not be affected by this setting at all. So it's not like it'll drop their follow or anything like that. So also you don't have to worry about that when using this setting. And then you can use follow verification as part of shield mode if you want it just temporarily. Or if you want it on permanently, maybe at a lower level, then you can find it in the moderation settings part of your dashboard.
Beautiful.
Huge fans of shield mode over here on Patch Notes, Ray and I both, and the integration of this like through shield mode I think is really interesting. Ray, you were talking yesterday during our rehearsal a little bit about how this might be implemented across your channel. You want to talk a little bit about what you're thinking, what your experience has been? Yeah.
Yeah, already has. Like last time I streamed, which was very recently, by the way, I made sure to go through and actually set this as like an actual part of my settings for my channel because yes, those follow-up attacks are annoying and also terrible. So I also hope that this will truly help with that. So thank y'all so much for working on this. I truly do appreciate it.
Great to hear it, Ray.
Trevor, you're bringing us twice the updates, twice the info this time around. You've got another topic that you want to talk to us about today, and this one is very near and dear to Ray's heart as well. Something that Ray and his crew have been talking about for some time. So, Trevor, why don't you talk to us a little bit about mobile mod view?
Yeah, you know that we like to deliver for Ray over here. So as part of Mod Appreciation Day, which was last week, we announced the rollout of ModView for iOS. If you're not familiar with our web product, then ModView on web has been this all-in-one home for tools that moderators might need to help keep the channel safe. We've been hearing for a long time, maybe 5 years or more, a long time that people wanted more of these tools to be available on mobile as well, because a lot of our mods are using mobile devices now and have been. And so we were excited to get that started by bringing this feature to iOS. And so I talk about it as getting it started because ModView on iOS currently has 5 widgets, although only 4 of them are up on the screen there. They're going to be the chat, quick actions, activity feed,
a secret
auto
5th widget. Yeah.
And the 5th one is the mod actions feed, which it's similar to activity feed, but it has a different type of action that's getting displayed there. But we definitely plan to continue supporting this feature and bringing in both more widgets. So something like unban requests, I think, would be a great fit for mobile, as well as more quick actions like the ability to run a poll or a prediction on your channel, which I know is also something that mods have wanted on mobile for a while now. So definitely keep an eye out for updates there, and also keep an eye out for, I'm hoping that later in the year we're going to be able to get started on bringing this to Android. We know that mods use Android devices too. We haven't forgotten about you.
I see a lot of folks in the chat asking about Android support.
The
so
Androids lit up the chat immediately. What about the Androids?
Like, what about us?
Forget about you. We didn't forget about you.
Thank you for shouting that out, Trevor. We know now that the production pipeline for the safety team is Ray has a request, Ray takes it to Trevor, and it gets built. So, chat, if you're looking for something in terms of safety or moderation, feel free to go to Ray first, and we'll get that kicked off for you. But Ray, this is something that the mod view the mobile mod view you've been talking about for a while. So I want to get your reactions and your thoughts on it. So, yeah,
like truly, this is something I've been asking for since like I was getting into moderating myself, but also for my moderators, it's just a big thing because a lot of my moderators moderate on mobile because they're also doing other stuff. But I love that this just gives me another option to actually, help out when I can, when I'm in my friends' chats moderating and I'm on my phone while my child is screaming boo at me. So yeah, this is great, and I'm so happy that this is happening. So thank you, Trevor. I got him, y'all. Don't worry.
A story for another time.
This is another welcome edition.
Yeah. Trevor, I do see some folks asking some questions about mobile mod view, so we will more than likely have you back in the Q&A segment. But always a pleasure. Always nice to. And we'll see you again here momentarily. Yeah. We are going to transition. Yeah. Take care, Trevor. We're going to. I got to stop doing that. I got to stop calling attention to these transitions. I'm out of practice in the hosting chair.
There he is.
Yeah.
There's my number one mod right there. As he said, thank you. Just simple as that. Man's been hounding me for like 8 years.
Tactical Banana. Shout out to Tactical Banana.
Tactical Banana.
We see you. We know you.
Just for you.
We love you.
Just for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ray, we have quite a few touch points to get through. Just some quick topics that we want to cover off on before we get to the Q&A section. So continue to ask questions. Use !ask if you've got questions for us on any of the topics that we've covered thus far. Just as a quick refresher, so far we have talked about the Discovery feed. We have talked about our addressing canceled subs and separate turbo concerns. We've talked about follower verification and mobile mod view. So if you've got any questions on any of those topics, go ahead and drop us some questions, and we'll get back around to them. But right now, we're going to move over to a sort of change in our categories. Ray, why don't you tell us about our travel and category update, outdoor category update?
By the way, excellent recap there, by the way. Fantastic. Well done.
I just did that off the dome, you know?
I loved it. Great. Like, thank you so much for letting me know what we've talked about, because I forgot.
I just figured there were some folks coming back in after we had after our stream kind of crashed, and so I just want to let people know that what we're talking about today. So yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
This is a great host right there. Great host, chat. Take notes.
Thank you.
Chat, I've got something great to tell you about as well. So we have heard overwhelming feedback from the community over the years that the travel and outdoors category doesn't quite resonate with the way IRL streamers and streamers who pretty much are away from their desk talk about themselves. So next week, I have something fun for you. Next week, we'll be updating the travel and outdoor category and renaming it to, drum roll please, IRL. And as you can see here, to more accurately reflect all of you streamers, let's see, we'll add some new art for this category. As you can see here, this nice grass, to serve as a reminder for gaming streamers that it never hurts to go outside and touch some grass. That's right. Yeah, I can't wait. It's beautiful. If you're allergic, I'm sorry. Go touch some fake grass. You got this. I believe in you. If you're already streaming in the travel outdoor category, we'll automatically update it to IRL when the change goes into place. So there's no action that you need to take, and your stream won't be impacted if you happen to be live when that change rolls out. Zach, what's the next one we got?
That's a great question. We're going to talk a little bit quickly about the suspension evasion policy. We got a quick update on that following a previous update on this very show. Earlier this month, we shared an update to our suspension evasion policy to help provide clarity around what is allowed when viewing content created by a suspended streamer. So moving forward, our community guidelines will allow you to discuss or react to VODs or live streams from another service of suspended users. So hosting a suspended user directly on your stream, sharing their content verbatim without commentary, or having a suspended user participate in your channel are still not allowed. Sharing commentary is a big part of the Twitch experience, and we want to strike the right balance between helping to ensure that suspensions are honored while also giving the community room to discuss topics that are of interest to them. So kind of a meeting in the middle on that one.
Yeah.
Please to understand.
By the way, just quick sidebar. Chat, I'm not telling you what kind of grass. I'm not your dad. Do what you need to do, okay? Hey, as long as it's within legal guidelines, do what you need to do. Okay, I ain't your dad.
Thank you, Ray.
Just a dad
for clarifying. Yeah. Our next update is one near and dear to our hearts. Ray and I, especially over the course of the last couple of months here, and that is TwitchCon 2024. Would you believe that TwitchCon Europe is already nearly upon us? Congratulations, everybody! TwitchCon Europe in June. The schedule is now live, and that includes which streamers are coming to the event and lineup covering spectacles in the Twitch Rivals Arena and my personal favorite, the Glitch Theater. Fun and educational moments in the community sessions, interactive workshops, and creator camp. Thank you, Ray. Spaces to connect and vibe in community meetups in Capacabana, and so much more. We launched a featured streamers program showcasing 28 streamers who will be the faces of TwitchCon Europe, as you can see in this little sizzle reel that's playing right now. These streamers are set to appear on and off stage, from appearing on stream with Dan Clancy all the way to the Glitch Theater stage. Another Glitch Theater plug. Thank you very much. Check out the schedule and featured streamers live at twitchcon.com. And if you don't have your tickets yet, you can snag them there. TwitchCon Europe is in Rotterdam this year, as a friendly reminder, June 29th through 30th, and it will sell out, so don't wait. If you're thinking about going, snag those tickets. Ray, tell us about TwitchCon San Diego.
Yes, we're still talking about TwitchCon, baby, but now we're talking about TwitchCon San Diego. So, hey, it's time. Prep them ideas, because, you know, we have the content submissions for TwitchCon San Diego officially open. So this is what I need you to do, chat. You had a good idea for some content at TwitchCon San Diego. I want you to submit those ideas for stuff like Artist Alley, for the community sessions, for, the TwitchCon cosplay showcase. That's right. Cosplay is back, baby. I'm excited. I love the cosplay show, and also the TwitchCon drag showcase, of course, which is always absolutely just a banger of a time. I've always had a good time with that, and it's a good time for me and my team to get together and just have fun watching our amazing drag artists do what they do best. You know what I'm saying? Zach's remembering a time that we were at one, and I can see it in his head right now, and it was so much fun. I loved it. It was great.
Great time.
We're also gonna have some it was great.
Fun was had by all.
Yes, except Zach. We'll also have the interactive sessions, and we're now also accepting ASM artists too. Man, is that a word? That's wild.
Yeah,
but
yeah, we just
also
made it
not
up this
forgetting
year.
music sessions as well. So submit your idea at twitchcon.com, and submissions will close, and they will close, trust me, on May 13th, 2024 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. You've been warned. But also, please submit them. Thanks.
Yeah. Just under a month to submit ideas and panels and concepts and whatever you've got cooking up in your head for TwitchCon San Diego. This is truly an event for the community, by the community. And if you've got an idea and you think you can put it together and pull it off with us in tow, submit. We've got the call for content open as of yesterday, and we're looking for ideas. We're looking for concepts. We're looking for cool stuff. Show the community by community members, and we want to borrow a slogan from another organization. I want to talk a little bit about Hype Train level bonus emotes. So just very quickly, a couple of things. New animated bonus emotes based on current community favorites have been added to reward viewers who contributed to any Hype Train that reaches levels of 10, 25, 50, or 100. And speaking of Hype Train levels of 100, Ray, tell us a little bit about our friend Pirate Software.
Yeah, let's talk about Mr. Hype Train real quick. So,
yeah,
Pirate
Dr.
Software,
Hype Train, as he's known. Yeah.
If you don't know Pirate Software engaged their community in an attempt to be the first to achieve and receive the level 100 Kappa Infinite bonus emote. And guess what? They did it. They ended up setting a new Hype Train for the all-time record and hitting level 106. Listen, I don't know if people can really understand like how ridiculous that is. That's wild.
Crazy.
Like genuinely wild. So 106, congrats again to Pirate Software and your community, because y'all are wild folks, and I love to see what y'all managed to do. It's wild to me. So to commemorate that accomplishment, the next day Twitch released another special new bonus emote called Did I Break It? For the Hype Train level 106, which is hilarious because I mean that was like the first thing you said afterwards. Which I'm pretty sure you did break it, by the way. And gave it to all the viewers who contributed to Pirate Software's historic Hype Train. I wonder who will break that record next.
Just as a peek behind the curtain, when things like this happen, our entire teams light up. You know, when things that are unexpected like this happen, you know, like our Slack messages, our channels are popping off of like, oh, he's at 102, oh, he's at 104, he's gonna be like, we love that kind of stuff, and like we are celebrating on our end just as much as those communities are celebrating as well. So that's like a really big moment for everybody. I really loved being
like,
a part of that conversation as it was happening. Yeah, exactly.
It was fun.
Ray, we got a
Always
couple
fun
more
to
things
watch.
before we move to the Q&A. Why don't you tell us about the Plus Point goal and Plus program expansion?
Yes. So, hey, chat. In preparation for the upcoming expansion of the Plus program on May 1st, which is 5/1, which will make a higher net revenue share available to both partners and affiliates, we released a new goal to let the streamer share their Plus Point total for the month with a community to help rally support around them, as you can see here on the screen. The goal can be set up using the Manage Goals pop-up in the Stream Manager area of your Creator dashboard. So, as a reminder, streamers need to receive 100 plus points for 3 consecutive months to qualify for level 1 of the Plus program, which offers a 60% net revenue share on recurring paid subs and gift subs, or 300 plus points for 3 consecutive months to qualify for level 2 of the Plus program, which offers 70% net revenue share on recurring paid subs and gift subs. For full details on the upcoming program expansion, you can be found in the blog post from January. So I don't know if we have a link for that in chat, but if we could get that at some point, that would be great. But please make sure to go and check out that blog for more details. Okay.
Ray
okay.
put me on the spot. Ray put me on the spot. Let me
What'd I do?
see. You
My bad.
have that link. If not, I'll track it down before the end of the show. But we should have that. You know what?
My
Check this
bad. I
out.
didn't mean to make you do more work while we're doing work.
You're good. Don't
Uh,
sweat it. We are going to transition
got it.
into the queue. Damn it! I did it again. That's
Not a
3
swear.
times now I've said the cursed T word. Transition. So let's talk about. Let's get into the Q&A segment. I fumbled it. I fumbled it so badly. Ray, help me out. We are.
it's okay.
You
know what?
submitted
You know what it's
questions.
time for, Zach?
We've got answers. I'm freaking out. I'm losing it here. We're gonna bring Jess back onto the show to talk about the Discovery feed because we got a lot of questions about the Discovery feed. So let's welcome Jess back to the show,
Jess,
and
save
we'll
us.
get right into it. Yeah, please, Jess, help us out. We're off the rails here a little bit. Jess, first question comes from Oren Spector. Will the Discovery feed have filters users can select or deselect for better searchability?
Yeah, thanks for the question. So we actually won't have this at launch, but it's something that we're actively exploring to help viewers zoom in on the type of content that they're interested in watching. So stay tuned for future updates.
Awesome.
All right. Next question
Ray,
comes
you're up
from
next.
You know, I can read too. Next question comes from Genova Plus, and they ask, with so much of the Discovery feed's live content being horizontal, are we able to rotate for full screen? Question mark? Good question.
Yeah, so this is another one that won't be there at launch, but it is something that we're actively looking into as we make more improvements on mobile app, because we know that's how people view content. So another one to stay tuned for.
Next question comes from Shifty with 3 Ys. I guess my main question is, with the addition of the feed feature, what's the point of the Discover page anymore?
Yeah, so Dan announced earlier this year in the open letter that we're planning on redesigning the mobile app later this year to make the feed the new immersive landing page of the app. So rolling out the feed tab is just one step towards that bigger arc of work. And we want to get it right. So you might see some tabs moving around and changing as we work towards the final experience. And then that's what we're going to be talking about on next month's patch notes. So you'll hear more.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jess. Appreciate you coming back on and answering some Discovery feed questions. We're going to say so long to you for now, but it sounds like we'll have you back on next month's episode, so we'll see you then. And we all did a little salute. That was nice. Take care, Jess. We'll see you next month. We're going to bring our friend Mike back to talk a little bit about some subs. Mike, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Q&A. Ray's got the first question.
It's been so
for this time
long.
around.
Thank you.
I know.
It's
I know.
been so long. What do you mean?
We're
new
missing
year?
you.
So, Mike, we got a question from Kims. Hope I said that right. They ask, will the new bits goal have a description for what the end goal is, just like the sub goal? Question mark.
Yes, it will. Should I talk for 10 more minutes about why and what it'll look like? But yeah, short answer.
I won't tell
Yes.
you no.
Excellent. Okay, next question comes from Joda MXD, who asks, why are subs more expensive on mobile phones?
Yeah, good question. So just to level set first, how do sub payouts work? We take off the cost of payments and split with the streamer based on whether they're eligible for 50, 60, 70% via the Plus program, right? So on mobile, when we launched on mobile, the important thing for us is that the sub was basically paid the same to the streamer as a sub on web. And because there are much higher fees on mobile devices, that results in the price being increased so that we can ensure that the streamer gets the same amount they would have on web. That was the thinking as to why we set the price higher.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Ray,
Okay.
you got this next one?
I mean, I can make sense of that. So this next question comes from Mr. Zach Busey. They want to know: will you tell creators how many of their subscribers were impacted by the canceled subs so that they can prepare for the lost revenue in future months? Question mark.
Yeah, I mean, at some level, this can already be tracked in the dashboard, but I want to de-scarify this a little bit because we're I've shared this in different contexts before. About 1 million monetizing streamers go live on Twitch every month, so eligible to receive a subscription. The number of subscriptions that were impacted, unfortunately, by this issue were in the thousands. So the vast, vast majority of streamers are not impacted by this. And for the relatively small number that are, the maximum impact is on the order of 1 to 2%. So we've tried to look at this and understand, is there any streamer that is really seriously impacted? Because we want to be as proactive as possible in addressing it for them specifically. But for the most case, more than half of impacted streamers were impacted by 1 sub at maximum, and we expect to recover the majority of those subs. So I get the concern that there's this potential risk of this, revenue drop off, but that based on the impact as we understand it, the number of subs that are impacted, the number of streamers that are impacted, we didn't think, we don't really have a scalable way to put that in the dashboard so that every streamer could go check and see what the before and after was. But hopefully by being able to see what your sub count was, after, if you were significantly impacted in a way that was unexpected, you would see that. But I'm saying that having looked at the data quite substantially, the impact is very spread out to a relatively small proportional number of streamers to number of subs. So what I'm trying to say here is, like, let's say you had 600 subscribers roughly, or that was actually bad. Let's do 400 because I can do the math easier on 400. Say you had 400 subscribers. You're a pretty big streamer with 400 subscribers, right? You may have 1 to 2 subscriptions impacted, if I did the math right on that. I said earlier about 0.25%. So relatively small impact. We're going to do everything we can to ensure that every one of those people resubscribe, but we don't have the capacity to put that in a way that would allow streamers to know exactly the before and after, besides what they can already do, with the dashboard. So feel pretty good about, being able to ensure that streamers aren't impacted in a way that, is really surprising or really beyond a really, really tiny amount.
Awesome. Well, Mike, thank you for further clarification. Hope to have you back on the show soon. Thanks for joining us today, and we're going to welcome Trevor back on the show. Take care, Mike.
Okay.
Yep. Trevor, come on down.
Welcome back.
First
Welcome
question
back.
for you, my friend, comes from Brofar, who asks, with the new moderation warning system, will other mods of a channel be able to see how many warnings and the content of those warnings that a particular viewer has received?
Yeah, thank you for the question. This was something that I didn't talk about when I was on Patch Notes or on the show just a bit ago, but we did announce, or sort of re-announced it, because I think we talked about it at TwitchCon. We have this chat warnings feature that will be coming out hopefully in about the next month or so. And to specifically answer the question, yes, if you are another mod of the same channel, then you'll see when you go to any viewer's viewer card, you'll see how many warnings they've accrued in that channel, and then you'll also be able to read what was said in those warnings and which moderators wrote those. You'll also get if you're using ModView and you have the mod actions log up, you'll also get a little update in there anytime a user gets warned.
Awesome.
All right.
All
right. Thank you for that answer, Trevor.
Oh, sorry, Ray. You're up.
Okay. Next one comes from, and I apologize if I ruin your name. This was from Tuli Cowrie, and they ask, any plans to split raid and shout out permissions from edit permissions? Would be nice to allow my mods to raid, but I don't want to share my clips and video editing with them. Interesting. All right.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, totally understand. We have historically reserved content-related functions like rating for the editor role. But what I will say is that we've been hearing a lot recently, especially when I was at TwitchCon this past year, I heard a ton of feedback about this, that people want their mods to be able to do a little bit more in some cases. So this is definitely something that we're considering. It's not going to be the easiest thing that we do, but it's something that we're looking at for sure. I don't have a time frame to share on it yet.
Early days on that. Totally understandable. Next question comes from Flip Did What, and they ask, what's the timeline for all mod features currently on PC and laptop to mobile?
Yeah. I sort of alluded at this when I was on just a moment ago. We are hoping to bring a handful more of the features that mods have had access to on web to iOS in the next few months. And we'll be starting with the features that users have requested the most. We have to kind of prioritize these. But there will still be, for a while, there will still be some things that you can only do from web. And on Android, like I mentioned, we have a little bit more catch up to play, but we do plan to start work there later this year to start bringing web features to Android as well.
Right on.
All right. Well, there you go. There's your answer. Flip Did What? That's a fun name to say. All right. So next one comes from Glowfish. They ask, will you bring polls and predictions to iOS View 2, please? It's highly anticipated. Period.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's kind of been the most consistent feedback that I've gotten since we released the feature last week, and it's not surprising. With this launch, there was already that it was going in to this update at the same time. There was a lot going into this update at the same time, so we had to sort of scope it to a certain point that everyone would feel comfortable with in terms of what we could release in one go. But I think polls and predictions stand out as clearly something that a lot of people want to be able to do for mobile as mods, and they're definitely going to be some of the first things that we look to start bringing over the next few months.
Awesome. Well, Trevor, that was our last question for you, so we're going to bid you adieu. I'm sure we'll have you back on soon, as you're the reigning champ of guest appearances still on Patch Notes. I think you're up to like 8 or 9 now, so I'm sure we'll see you in a forthcoming episode. Trevor, always a pleasure. Take care. We're going to knock out these last couple ourselves. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks so much, Zach. Thanks, Ray.
See you soon.
See ya.
Okay, Ray, we got 2 more questions here in the old Q&A segment before we start wrapping up the show, so why don't you go ahead and take the first one?
All right, yes. Give me the longest question in the sheet. I love that. All right. So this question comes from, and listen, I'm going to need y'all, these names, I'm going to need y'all to get it together. All right, so this comes from Yogo Rock Bowler FFXI11YO. They asked, so I have been using stories to do a bit more sharing on what's going on more so just than when streaming, but I noticed with posting clips into stories that is somewhat unmovable, that it is unmovable placement with the clips such as up top or down to down below when writing your text. What are you saying here?
You need me to sub in on this one?
When writing your longer text messages into the stories clip, add it to hopefully avoid covering up the clip with your text message. My question, any plans to change this? So, my question for you then is, we're having an issue with clips and having text go over them.
Yeah.
Are we
This
going
is a
to help
user.
fix
This is
the
a user
overlapping
interface.
text?
This is a user interface question, right? Like we're having issues with clips and
Yes.
text overlay. When are you working on that? And the answer is
Yes, that's the real question.
yes. Okay.
Yes.
And the answer is
Mhm.
we've heard feedback about this, and we're going to fix
We've
this
heard
soon. So
feedback.
stay tuned for more stories updates later this year. Our last question. That was an extremely complicated question, Ray. Thank you for powering through it.
I'm gonna need, so
Um,
just for the future, yo. Think of me when you're also writing your questions, because I have
Brevity
to
is the soul of
Right.
wit, Yogo Rock Bowler
Think of me.
FFX.
And I mean, I know,
yo.
not everybody's first language is English, and that is fine. But just think about me when you submit these questions. All right.
Our last question comes from Farrell, who asks, I'm sorry that mine was just Farrell. Is there a place to see written patch notes in case we missed anything during this stream before we showed up? Thank you. Yes, there is. After each episode, we publish an article in the Help Center outlining all updates we covered, so keep an eye out, and it should be up within the next few days. You can also search for an episode recap. We put out episode recaps on social. If you're looking for episode recaps there. These episodes also live on our channel in perpetuity, so if you missed one, it's always there to watch in VOD format. And you can see all the goofs and guffaws and all the info and updates right here on twitch.tv/Twitch. Ray, that brings us to a close.
That you can read.
That was a good question. I feel like that was maybe a plant, but I appreciate it nonetheless. We're wrapping up the show. Another great episode. A joy to be back, and a humbling experience this month to learn that hosting is not something that you just have. It's something that you need to keep up with and practice, or else you will be bad at it. I'm talking about myself personally. It's a rocky show, but we got through it. Yeah.
I mean, that's the nature of the business. You know, this is live. You know, it's not recorded. Some people be like, "Is this recorded?" No, it is not recorded.
Clearly, that is not the case. So we're going to transition out of the show. Ray, I want to thank all of our guests, Jess, Mike, and Trevor, for joining us. I want to thank you for participating with me today, Ray, and give you an opportunity to plug anything you got coming up. Anything good you got going on?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you and welcome you back. So, Chad, can we get some applause for Zach? Welcome back, Zach. It's nice to see you for the first time.
Go on, man.
This is great. I appreciate you. Well, me, no, I stream like twice a year, so I don't know when I'm doing that again. So, just kidding. We have Twitch Public Access coming up next week, live from St. Jude in Memphis, and I'm so excited. Like, genuinely, it's one of my favorite streams that we do as a part of like what we do at work. And so, please tune in to that stream from St. Jude, because it's going to be a great time, and it's all about charity. So please come be there. It'll be great.
I was gonna say just a quick plug from my end. The St. Jude Let's Play is happening next week that we're all very excited about, and we've also got TwitchCon coming up, 2 of them in fact. So check out. We pointed you to the website there earlier for all of your info. The call for content is live. We want to see you out there. Thank you again for joining us for Patch Notes. We are going to hand the stream off here. We're going to go ahead and raid a friend of ours. Perhaps you know them. Detune. We're going to jump in there and see what they're up to today. One of our faves. And that's right. See what they've got going on. So stick around for that, and thank you all again so much for watching. We'll be back next month with another episode of Patch Notes. Take care.
Be good, chat.